From the game studio behind the best-selling VR experiences of I Expect You to Die and Among Us VR comes Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire. In this single-player horror game, you are transformed into a vampire slayer who is on a mythic quest to destroy vampires before they wake. Tension builds as you rely on silence and precision to disarm all the traps in the various vampires' defenses. Unlike other VR horror games on the market, Silent Slayer relies on puzzle solving and precise use of tools to vanquish these monsters. You'll use a pry bar, clippers, and even a hook made from a finger bone to complete your mission. Naturally, stakes will also be provided. This jump scare VR experience is meant for the bravest of souls. Can you pass the test? Get Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire today on the MetaQuest store, or wishlist it on Steam. And for listeners of the Ruff Talk VR podcast, we have an exclusive discount code for 10% off by using code RUFFSLAYER-890-4FC. That's RUFFSLAYER-890-4FC. Just visit the link in our show notes and use the code RUFFSLAYER-890-4FC for 10% off Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire.
Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR, coming at you with another edition of VR news, again with our new format of going back and forth, which so far the reception of that style seems to be pretty well received.
I guess we'll keep it.
Yeah, we'll do our best to maintain a great flow, but sometimes we do steer off, we get distracted, but that also does seem to be loved as well. So
look, a fly.
We got a whole bunch of flashcards, whole bunch of index cards each, full of news. So great stuff this week of news, and we also have a great interview dropping on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Interviewing solo developer behind Solera One, a VR travel exploration app. So that's a fun one to dive into.
It was a kind of a surprise at how well I liked it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
On paper, I wasn't sure, but after experiencing it, I'm like, all right, I get it.
A little bit of a last minute interview, but it did not disappoint at all. So that was fun, and we are coming at you to start this episode with big news, besides the fact that we're sponsored by Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire, made by Shell Games this month.
Check out this shirt, babe. Dude, I wear this shirt everywhere.
As you heard at the start of the episode. You know what, actually, before I do my first news point, why don't I get this out of the way for the YouTube folk? VRider, a great VR motorcycle game. They sent us this great little swag box in the mail. This just came in. This is probably one of the coolest things we received. Look at this. It's an actual freaking motorcycle helmet. Look at that thing. That thing is pretty freaking badass, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then besides that, they also got us a nice little VRider hat. One of these, you can kind of casually wear out in the public. The other one you can't really, but I'll let you use your imagination of which one's which. That might be different from person to person. So cool stuff there. Do you want to hold the mic for a second and I'll actually put it on?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to look funny. Nothing looks funnier than a full face motorcycle helmet with no jacket.
It makes my head look so big.
Yeah, man. There you go. Got to peel the protective sticker off sometime as well.
It makes my head look so big.
Yeah, it's supposed to save your brain. You go hitting the ground yeah, I mean, dude, it's a motorcycle helmet. Nothing you'd probably see on a Harley, but neither is the bikes in VRider. Or VRider.
So that was real cool. Huge props to VRider for sending us that. It's a great game too. More, swag boxes aside, we had them on the podcast the other month, and they were a great time. So on to the actual, news. To kick it off, we have exciting stuff on our end. We're going to be part of an Ask Me Anything on the official MetaQuest Discord server, which if you don't know, Meta has an official Discord server. It's
pretty
community,
popular.
Yeah, it's a community one. There's several thousand people there. They do like meetups of, playing a specific game. As well, they do AMAs, Ask Me Anythings, where they bring on different creators, but also sometimes they bring on developers and stuff like that. I know they had the Walkabout mini golf crew on.
Say Walkabout.
I think that was their most recent one before us.
That was the last one.
Yeah. So we'll be part of one on July 19th at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're able to make it, you can hop into the official MetaQuest Discord server. Why not join it now? and then, reserve your spot in the event. That way you get a nice little ping reminder notification about it. And, hang out with us, ask us some questions. And, I think it'll be a good time.
Ask me anything means ask me anything.
I really want to pack the house too, I think some of them, they've gotten good turnouts, but I really want to get, I want to get a good crew there. So if you're able to make it 4 p.m., July 19th, let's pack the house in
It's 4 p.m. Eastern time.
4 p.m. Eastern time. Let's pack the house in the official MetaQuest Discord server. If you can make it, that's going to be a fun time. We'll be hanging out there.
So next on the news, this is kind of a cool one because people, I almost wish they could just have a schedule where people would see it beforehand and not get so anxious. But I get why some people really want to know because it's going to change their gameplay significantly. But Ghost of Tabor did confirm that there is a wipe coming soon. It was teased in their Discord. And actually a really clever way, too. Even one had the picture of the toilet paper roll. I think it said wipe. So, no, your wipe is coming. It's coming soon. So start spending your stuff because you can't take it with you. So,
but that was cool to see, a new wipe. I always love wipe season. It's like incentive to go back in. I think it's essential.
Well, now I'll spend the shit that I'll never want to take with me. So it works.
It's always funny. We talk about it a lot. The first time we played Tabor and, we found out about wipes, we were like, what the hell, man? I'm losing all my progress. But I love them now. It's essential to maintain.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. It keeps everything balanced and it's overall essential in my opinion. And, it's cool. They've been focusing a lot more on just quality of life and bug fixes and that kind of stuff instead of like, a bunch of new features, which is always great too.
Well, no, because they got, on the side, they got the new map coming. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. They're working on new stuff too. I just mean for what's actually been pushed. It's been a lot of good quality of life and bug fixes. It's been good to see. The game's very smooth right now.
Dude, I mean, knock on wood. I guess I don't miss the old days as much as sometimes I say I do, but I really don't, but most of the issues that I ever experienced that were buggy have been long taken care of.
Yeah.
And anything new that pops up is, just random shit, but they're right on it. And again, they're always like, hey, we know there's a problem with, it's not like they try to hide from any issues that might pop up or a server issue or I can't connect, whatever it is, they're going to work on it. And then if you go to their Discord, you'll see they're going to acknowledge it and you can pretty much figure out that, within the next couple hours or within a day, the problem's been fixed. So.
Yeah. Let's be real. There's a reason it's one of our favorite games. It's an honor to host the official Ghost of Tabor podcast, Tabor Radio. If you haven't checked it out, if you're a fan of Ghost of Tabor, that's always a good time. We get to dive in the deep dive of the people behind the scenes of such a great game. They're such a cool group of people.
Talented, though. That's what's crazy. There's not a slacker in the bunch.
When you meet the team, it makes complete sense why the game is what it is.
Well, and dude, they're on the brink of bigger shit. I don't want to say bigger than Tabor, but absolutely huge stuff coming soon. So, and who knows what else is being worked on.
So great stuff from Ghost of Tabor, and this one is it's gonna meet resistance for me. I hate to be that grumpy old guy who goes, change, not in my neighborhood, like that's not how I want to sound, but it is what it is. I love App Lab. I think it's a healthy part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I think that it should just
place.
It has its place. I think it should be improved, not scrapped. But nonetheless, we've talked that App Lab was getting merged into the official MetaQuest store, which, by the way, is now called the Meta Horizon store. That's the official name of the official MetaQuest store. So to avoid any confusion, we'll say Meta Horizon store, but it's going to take me a little bit to catch fully onto that. But it's officially happening. App Lab is going to become part of the official MetaQuest store on August 5th. And with that comes the ability for developers to label their game early access, which is kind of one of those features that probably should have existed without scrapping App Lab. You don't need to scrap App Lab. Let's be real, not every game on App Lab was early access. It's just not every game made it through the curation on the official store, right? But
well, yeah, and I don't think all of them ever intended on going to the store. It was just like proof of concept for something later.
Well, and there were some games that did want to get to the store and couldn't. That's
the choice they made.
And that's also part of my point of let's improve App Lab, let's not scrap it. I've always said, let's improve discoverability on App Lab, let people be able to search apps on the official store easily and discover apps easily on the store.
allow for a typo, you know.
Yeah, and just be able to browse an App Lab section, which they brought to the store app. You could click App Lab, and then it would bring you to some App Lab apps. Let's improve that side. Let's keep going down that line. Remove the pop-up, which they did. And then I've always said, let's just make transparent guidelines of curation to get to the store. You know, not scrap the whole program. Well, let's see. You know, but it's officially happening in about a month, a little less. August 5th. It's coming quick. It's too late to turn the ship around. It's happening. We'll see who's right and who's wrong. I'm on the bitter old man. You know, I don't want to see the change. I think it's for the better to just keep and improve App Lab, but we'll see how it all plays out over the next 6 months to 1 year. You know, there's going to be some victors, some people that it benefits, and I think some people that, you know, maybe were doing good, and now the influx of 5,000 apps and 100 Gorilla Tag clones is maybe going to hurt them a little bit. Let's see how it all plays out.
My prediction is it's going to hurt a lot of developers.
Yeah.
I mean, right out of the gate, because you know, and I even hear the jokes in social media, like they're just going to be another Steam.
Yeah.
And it's
that's
like,
what we've been saying.
As great as Steam is, it's like there are issues with.
I don't like browsing it for new games, do you?
Dude, it's a pain in the ass.
You just don't find good stuff.
And it's changed so much over the years. So it's like, I kind of like the way it was 15 years ago, you know, but whatever. I mean, I don't want to see good developers who have a good product get just pummeled because the genres are going to be just, you know, flooded with 99% shitty games. And
I'll be honest with you. If I had a game scheduled for late July, early August, I'm moving it to late September.
I'd let this play out for a couple months.
I probably wouldn't release a game till like September, first week of September, the earliest, if not mid-September. You know,
you know, I just hope it doesn't have the impact I'm thinking it's going to. Or where there's something I'm not seeing because I'm not privy to it. So that's also a huge possibility.
Well, I'm totally open to being wrong. I hope I am wrong, and this opens the floodgates, and everybody makes a shit ton of money, and it's for the better.
It's not possible, though.
And now everybody's life improves, and now developers are going full time, and it's just swimming in pools of money. I hope I'm wrong, you know, because like that's the best case scenario.
Then every developer in the store would be in that situation, and they're not.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not hoping that things go wrong just so I'm right. I hope I'm wrong so everybody makes a lot of money. I just somehow don't think that that's going to be the case.
I hope I'm not wrong because I don't like being wrong. But similar to
no, I hope I'm wrong on this. I hope people make money.
In Meta's shadow company, Pico is also opening up their store and getting rid of their App Lab equivalent.
Yeah, with
no official date released on that yet, but
it's probably going to be August 6th now that the news is out.
It's funny how like whatever Meta does, Pico does. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're right on it within the same, you know.
And look, Earth Witness in our Discord, he was even posting like the Pico 4 did come out before the Quest 3, and the Pico 4, from everybody that's used it, they have nothing but good things to say. But
where's
in terms
the Quest manufactured?
in terms of,
I'm just curious. The bulk of the parts come from overseas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. China.
So, where's Pico from?
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard to get access to like other companies' information when, you know.
Well, and even hardware side, you know, who came out first, the side, it's just when you look at like the social media posts, direction, and they call like their Pico worlds and their Pico avatars, and their marketing direction is very reminiscent of the Quest marketing.
I mean, it works for Quest, and you can't blame the competition, but they're not in direct competition with Quest because they're not even allowed in North America. Mm-hmm. So that in itself is like the thorn that.
Yeah, and we've never been against Pico. We've hoped that they could come to America.
When they came out with their newest headset, and we were both bummed because we're like, I'd love to be able to get one and try it. It's like, nope, it's not even an option.
And there's rumors of a Pico 5 floating around too, so it's good to hear that they're not out of the game either.
The Quest 3S drops, and then you're gonna have the.
I don't mean to be
Pico J.
I'm not trying to be a hater. It's just funny sometimes. You know, Meta opens up the store, then a month later, you know, a week later, whatever, Pico comes out.
It's the same story.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That's why I call it Meta's shadow company. It's like we're gonna find out someday Zuckerberg owns both. Just starting trouble on one side and
Oh, I can't
playing
get
over
into
there.
China, you say? Well, here's Pico. Now,
Watch this.
Well, it's interesting. ByteDance did some big layoffs with Pico last year. ByteDance is also the owner of TikTok as well, too. And there were some statements from the ByteDance CEO basically saying, like, he expected things to take off faster than they did, which, again, proves my point of nobody has the long game hustle with this than Zuckerberg.
Well, no, you have to be in it for the long game.
Mm-hmm.
The one and done is not going to get you anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You got, a decade at a minimum. And then even then, you're just starting.
Mm-hmm.
So, and who's willing to put more billions into research?
It's like Google and Samsung is working on their headset, but I mean, Google
just likes knowing shit and knowing how to do stuff, and then they stop.
Google's one bad quarterly
They have
report.
no attention span.
Google's one quarterly report away from cutting any project. Any project, doesn't matter what it is.
They're bad Facebook post away from cutting projects.
Yeah, so
Their
it's
reputation is like really not good with
cutting stuff.
follow through. Yeah, man. How shit scared would you be if like Google was like, "Hey, we wanna work with you"? You'd be like, "No, I'd rather not."
Unless it's all paid up front.
Well, yeah,
It's
upfront
paid-
money, and
Baby, I'll take up front.
I want to see a contract that looks totally in my favor. Because no, I feel bad when you know the amount of work that goes into a lot of these projects, and then again for reasons that I don't understand, they're just gone.
Yeah, like
They're
Google Stadia.
It's like, what? Give it a chance, man.
Mhm.
You know,
They bought whole gaming studios for Google Stadia
just
and
put
killed
them
their
out of
whole game.
business,
Yeah,
yeah.
after like a year. It's craziness.
So if Google makes you an offer to buy, don't do it.
Unless, like I said, cash up front, baby. I'll take that.
Google wants you, someone else will too.
So, in other news, this one I was going to say mixed results, but I would say overall a bit negative. But it's kind of one of those, like, once some negative stuff starts to come out, things kind of
Snowball?
steamroll a little
It's
bit.
normal.
So Attack on Titan put out a new trailer. It was about like a 2-minute trailer, maybe a little bit more. And the instant early reactions that came out was how bad it was and how terrible it was, which I'll be the first to say, like, I wasn't blown away by the trailer. I wasn't like, oh man, this looks like game of the year, one of the best releases of the year at all. But I mean, after the early reactions of it, all of the reactions that came out for that trailer were pretty negative. And I'll be honest, like I said, it's a little bit over a 2-minute trailer. The first minute or so is kind of meh. It almost looks like some frame rate drops at a second or two, and it's just mostly swinging around with giant nude Titans. It's a little weird, but it's not like terrible, but it's nothing like crazy good either. But then the second half of the trailer does get a little bit better, where it starts to show the weapon variety and like the inventory system and that stuff. Again, I'm not out here to defend the trailer and say it was like, a 10 out of 10 game of the year candidate or anything like that. I don't know if it fully deserved the hate that it got to that extent.
I don't think so. I mean, I think the real nuts and bolts with VR is like it's hard. And even creators know this more than anybody. You're trying to film good content inside VR and translate it to
without giving spoilers
to flat screen viewing, and it's like it's never the same. I'm always the first to be like, it looks so much better inside the headset than it ever does outside. But I don't think it deserved, until I play it and can say like, oh no, it's terrible. But on paper, with what people are saying about it, it's like you'd never play it. Yeah, I don't know where it's stemming from, dude.
And I agree with 100% of what you just said. Like, you really got to go in there and experience it yourself before fully judging.
Trailers don't always cut it.
I mean, we've seen great games with amazing looking trailers that turned out to be really not good. And of course, there's the inverse has happened too. Now, it is kind of good as well that VR gamers, they're holding a standard of quality as well. That's something a little bit newer this year with Quest games, where
I disagree with that.
You do?
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
I agree that
only because I see like the excitement people get with like what the bat, and it's like, all right, let's just break it down graphically. You're gonna fucking beat on Behemoth, right? But what the bat gets a pass.
Let's see what the bat's overall rating is right now.
Oh, I'm sure it's freaking amazing.
I don't think it's like a 4.9 or anything. I heard a lot of people not really too crazy on what the bat. It's just that they won the Upload VR Game of the Year. Upload VR. Okay, it's got a 4.6,
thank
but with
you.
140 ratings.
Thank you. Well, no, don't discredit that because and I don't want, this is just, we just talked to a dude who's got a 4.9 with 24.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to seem
But I didn't hear people going crazy about the bat.
No, but
update.
I didn't see people getting pissed off going, it looks like shit. And if I look at the two trailers.
Well, you can play What the Bat. I think if you could play Attack on Titan right
but
now.
I'm just saying, looking at trailers, if I look at two trailers back next to each other, and if nobody heard of either one, and I said, which one do you think looks better? You think they're going to say What the Bat?
Probably not, besides on silliness factor.
So it's just weird what I see people willing to settle for, and then what I see people like being like, oh no, that's totally cool.
But people have played What the Bat, so they all already know what it is. I think if people have played Attack on Titan in its current state, and then they saw the trailer, they would be like, oh, that's a bad representation of the game,
So I'll give it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I can't throw hate on a trailer. Because there's so many worse trailers.
No, I agree on that.
I still want to try it.
Mm-hmm. I'm not 100% unconvinced on it. I'm also not convinced that it's going to be a great game.
Dude, like, 100%. I might go into it and be like, hey. But
I'm still open-minded on it. I think that we're both on the same page about that,
and I
for
think
sure.
part of that is just knowing like what I see and what I film versus what I see after I film is like, what the frick?
So just to wrap it up, too, because I did get a little carried away on the trailer. It is coming to early access though on July 23rd for a
couple weeks
for $5, which is going to give you chapter 1 and 2, which are going to be a couple hours each.
That's not bad for $5, $4.99 plus applicable tax.
Okay, so here's the thing: the game was delayed previously. It almost makes you wonder if they ran out of money, and they're like, "Look, we need to sell something. Like we need to get some money. Like put it in early access, $5.
We ran out of money, man.
It happens."
Well, that would be we're going to run out of money.
Well, correct. We're running out of money. Like we need to put it out now. Like there's no more delaying and waiting until it's done. Let's put it out in early access. Let's get some money, and then let's finish it up. $5 is a steal.
It's almost too cheap.
Yeah. I'll pick it up early access for $5. Why not?
Well, yeah, because it'll answer some questions, but then we still have to know that there could be changes by
full release
anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, I'm not opposed to early access.
No, I think for $5, it's cheap enough that despite any of your opinions on the trailer, it's probably worth checking out and experiencing for $5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see.
I want to play it before I bash it.
Yeah, I agree on that.
And I did sound like I was bashing with the bat. I just use it as a visual example.
No, I get it.
Totally different. Okay. So Ventures Gauntlet will be launching new PCVR. This is for the PCVR folks. So you're getting exclusive map based on Norway.
I think they did tease that they wanted to do a PCVR only map as well during our interview.
Here you go.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's coming your way. No, that's wicked cool.
I got to try it on PCVR.
Yeah. Dude, there's so much we still have to try on PCVR.
Yeah.
But for the PCVR folks, that's kind of cool that they do that. Making something exclusive just for, but like you said, they said they were going to.
What's scary to me is if it's for PCVR only, do you think it's PC? Obviously, it is for performance reasons. I mean, they said there's going to be like destructibles and stuff like that in the map. So do you think it's only PCVR because of all the stuff going on in it? Or do you think it's PCVR because of the size? And the reason I'm concerned, the reason I'm scared is because the Quest standalone maps are pretty freaking big as is. They're like 20 minutes, right? That's how long it took us?
I think it's going to be the visuals.
I hope
more
so.
visual and maybe interactive, but
40-minute course,
We'll see.
That would be intense.
That's crazy, dude.
I think, remember when we interviewed them, they told us that, you can't do it because of performance reasons, like go from directly map to map.
Mm-hmm.
But technically it is all on one giant scene together.
Just can't render it as one.
Like the other maps you see in the distance are the actual map that you'll be playing on.
Yeah. Well, we got PCVR, so we can find out.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out on PCVR. I'm excited for that. So Ventures Gauntlet, cool people. Great studio name, too, as well. Bearhammer Games.
Yep.
Come on. That was a fun interview.
Yeah. I liked when we asked where did the name Bearhammer come from.
So this was a cool one, too. I'm so excited for this game. It's this is how Upload VR describes it. I'll give credit where credit's due. I got the quote from Upload VR. A new VR mini game collection inspired by memes and WarriorWare. It's going to have over 100 mini games. It's called Leeroy, and it's launching this year on Quest and Steam VR. And it's developed by developer Global Seer Initiative. I believe it's their first game as well. And I did see some people giving some slack on social media.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch their new trailer they put out, at the end of the trailer, it shows their game logo, which is, it's AI generated. And like, people don't seem to like that at all. But I mean, look.
Why?
I don't know. People hate AI, dude, in the online gaming community. It's so funny, the resistance. It's like, dude, if it's one or two,
stupid not to.
If it's one or
these
two,
these are younger people who didn't grow up with BASIC.
If it's one or two,
100%.
If it's one or two people making a game, a handful of people, and it allows them to make a game that they would not have been able to, I don't see the problem. Obviously, the best bang for your buck is to pay a graphic designer and get a human-made thing. Yeah, without a doubt, I don't think anybody's going to argue that, but that's not always in the budget, right? Like, at some point, you have to cut expenses somewhere, especially when you've never put out a game before.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I just don't know why you're hating on an AI-generated logo.
Yeah.
That's so bizarre, dude.
I see so many people.
The fact we can make an AI-generated logo is amazing enough. I don't think people are getting it. It's like,
okay, how about this?
What's the complaint?
I see so many people with little social media and even game studios with logos that are very clearly designed by people. I see their template work on Fiverr. Overseas cheap labor for $5.
Yeah.
So you have no ethical problem paying somebody $5, undermining the local market as well in doing such a thing because it's beneficial for everyone, right? You have no problem with that, people doing that, but using AI is the ethical cutoff.
People are weird, dude.
Yeah.
It's weird. I see musicians bitching about it too, but yet some of the ones complaining use auto-tune. So it's like, what is your fucking real complaint?
Well, and like, there will always...
I'm sorry that somebody can do it better. Is that what the real issue is? Is possibly the machine can do it better than you can?
There will always be a market for hand and human made. And what I mean by that, did factory making, did machine making destroy handmade purses? No. In fact, that made it a more luxury market, right? There's still handmade clothing, handmade purses, handmade things that are like...
Yeah, they're called high end.
Correct. There's always a mark. People want...
Same thing with cars, Ferrari.
So if people can make AI art, if people can make AI music, whatever, there's always going to be a market for the human-made ones, correct? I mean, it doesn't destroy anything. If anything, it makes it more...
For now.
I mean, because I'll be honest with you, you look at like the Leeroy logo at the end, which I have no hate on. I mean, it's just not as good at all as like 99% of game logos either. But I mean, that's what they went with. I don't hate on it. It is what it is, right?
Mm.
So it looks like a fun game too. You know my opinion on mini games.
Dude, yeah. Freaking 1,000,000%.
There's a couple of them on the store. There's Local Dojo Unleashed, which we actually went back into the other week. There's a Racket made by 3 Pound Games. And then, you know, Leeroy with over 100 mini games. I think that's going to be fun. And the mini games look silly. Said meme based.
Yeah,
you take for that what you
had
want.
Me laughing.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be inappropriate. That was some of the vibe I got on the initial trailers and such. So
hope it's NC-17 rating.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I wonder how many people, they probably say it somewhere. You can wish list it now, but I wonder exactly how many people are going to be able to play online together at once. I'm excited for this one though.
Oh hell yeah, dude! They had me at Leeroy. All right. On to some Horizon World news. Every world in Horizon World, in Meta Horizon Worlds, can now be joined on the web and mobile.
Which might even be something that people didn't know you could do for some worlds.
Right, but now you can do it on all of them. So that's actually, you know, I'm not huge into it, but it's cool to know that even if it's sitting on a train or something, you get your cell phone, boom, you're in.
Yeah, we could have played with
cool.
our Discord community on the train in London, you know, in something like Super Rumble or something like that, while they were in VR. That's pretty cool.
I just think it's amazing that it's not just obviously this where it's multi-platform, but like Tetris Connect. It's like, PlayStation players, Xbox players, MetaQuest, and you can see what they're playing on, and we're all...
Demio's like that, too.
Yeah, we're all integrated in the same world. It's pretty incredible.
So, yeah, the way it worked before, I think you could do it for Super Rumble. You could do it with some Citadel. Yeah, some of the officially supported ones, but now any app being able to, because there's a lot of user-generated worlds like comedy clubs and stuff like that. And now they can have people join from their phone. That's huge for getting the reach out. You look at like those comedy clubs and stuff like that. Maybe that stuff.
I saw someone trying to sell
their club.
Yep.
Sell the whole club.
Yeah, they were selling the whole club. Yeah,
I love it. So I see them sometimes advertise, and I'll see comments being like, "Oh, I need a headset, yada yada." You could have somebody join these the first couple times from their phone, then they already have the MetaQuest app and stuff like that. And then maybe they go, shit, I want to get a headset and experience this in VR, and it's a way maybe to sell your friends on it. You go into, like I said, Super Rumble with them. They're on their phone. You guys, now imagine this in VR, I can see the potential of it.
Well, I think for the hardcore people too, it's cool because now they're just not limited to the headset. Be at work, you got the web browser up, you know what I'm saying? Got the little cell phone under the table during the meeting. I'm just fucking around. Don't do that at work. Wes, that's what you do for work.
Oh my goodness, have we hit our ad break card?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a big moment. We're taking a quick ad break, recover. We need some electrolytes. It's hot today.
Freaking 100 degrees outside.
I look,
and
it's
humid.
It's not
like
100 degrees.
70%.
It's 92 degrees. Let's be
but
real.
Feels like,
92 degrees isn't that far off.
Feels like the devil's asshole.
And like you said, it's humid.
Yeah, it's like 74%.
It's that northeast swamp humidity. So we'll take a quick ad break. We'll recover with some electrolytes. We'll take a message from our sponsor this month, like I teased in the beginning, and like you heard at the ad read in the beginning. Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire.
Yeah.
We have an exclusive discount code you can find with the link in our bio. I'm sorry, what is this, social media? With the link in our episode description.
I like long walks in the woods. I like to cuddle and silently killing vampires.
So visit the link in our episode description, as well as, use our exclusive discount code. Save yourself a little buck.
Might as well.
It's a great game made by a great developer. It's for people who are like, oh, it sounds fun. I love shell games, but I'm scared of horror games.
No.
There is a jump scare. If you lose, just don't lose. And you don't get scared. No, jokes aside.
Yeah, if you don't lose, you're fine, dude.
Yeah, jokes aside, honestly, it's not that scary at all of like an atmosphere and stuff like that. It's just more that there is a jump scare if somebody loses. And I think that, we talk about it every week, so I won't spend too much time on it. It's the perfect party game for that reason.
Oh, yeah, for casting to a TV with a group of 5 to 8. Holy crap, you guys are going to have fun.
How cool was it at PAX watching them show it off?
We watched for hours.
Yeah.
I just like watching the reactions of the people playing it, going in there with no and the amount of people who are like not really into VR, but they wanted to try it.
Well, it's not a game that's going to get you motion sick at all.
There was one person who curled up in the fetal position on a chair, though.
But they laughed after.
Well, yeah, everyone was having fun.
Yeah, it's a great game.
It's not done in a
great game.
Like it's going to give you PTSD,
So we'll take a quick message from our sponsor. Maybe you'll visit that link, use that discount code. But like always, before we do, we like to give an on-air shout out to the people on our on-air shout out tier, the people that support us week after week. We appreciate them. We have a bunch of Patreon supporters. Not all of them are on the on-air shout out tier, but you can become one of them by visiting the link in our show notes as well. And all of the Patreon tiers, besides just the on-air tiers, on-air shout out ones, they all come with access to an exclusive channel in our Discord server we call the Patreon Champions. It's a pretty cool spot to be. The Patreon supporters. Like I said, it's you'll get some insight, some tidbits that maybe you don't see in the general chat as well. Sometimes we'll post questions or like a forum to submit questions for upcoming interviews. And hell, even if you don't have questions to submit, you kind of get a little sneak peek of who we're talking to sometimes.
Occasionally we drop the news a little early.
Come on, sometimes we'll ask the Patreon people for some input as well. So go support, go check that out if you can. If not, just keep enjoying the content. We don't gatekeep anything. We don't hide any content, make it subscriber only and stuff like that. So go visit the Patreon, go visit the Discord, go join that. Discord's a great community, great VR discussion, game meetups, book clubs, music discussion, food pictures,
water pressure discussions, toilet discussions, shower head discussions.
The shower head discussion was
passionate.
That was real talk.
Yep.
I saw Brand VR posting in a little bit of a debate about Showerhead on Twitter, So I followed up on about it, and I said, "You want to fight about it?" Because I saw he was supporting the 3 shower head method, or the 3 knob method, which to me, that's like hotel blasphemy. You know, when there's 3 knobs, it's just unnecessary. I'm a 1 knob guy. Call me simple. Call me simple.
You don't want the 3 knobs?
You know what I'm talking about, though, with the 3 knobs?
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. It's not showers, is it?
No, we're talking showers, man. Your mind go wherever it wants, you know?
I'm a 3 knob guy.
1 knob's more than enough. You know, one side's hot, the other side's off and cold, and then you have the little thing on the bathtub pop out that flips it from shower head to bath.
Yes.
Why do you need 3 knobs? One for hot.
I'll sacrifice 3 knobs for a properly heighted shower head.
You know what's even worse than an improperly heighted shower head? One of those like wands that just have super low pressure. You know which ones I'm talking about that you take out and move and like it just dribbles on you?
Yeah.
Dude,
I totally get it.
just give me 1 knob and give me a shower head. So I saw him advocating 3 knobs and I had to step in. And then everybody has an opinion on that. So that was a fun discussion. So those are the type of things you're missing in the Ruff Talk VR Discord. So go join that. Go join the Patreon. And again, huge shout out to our Patreon supporters. We have Amelia, Asim, Aspire Mike, Carson, Carson, Jake, Earth Witness, Crispy, and Shoes. Man, I think your Australian one got a little buried for me. That was a good one.
Oh, it's all right. I'm trying to work on it so we can go to Australia. They don't let you in unless you speak it.
That's what I've heard. They don't stamp your passport unless you hit them with koala talk. And
dude, their immigration's no joke. People think.
I heard they don't just turn you around. I heard they punch you in the mouth before they turn you around.
They punch you in the teeth with a Foster's. Tell you to get the fuck out of here.
Whack you in the head with a boomerang.
Foster's.
Send you to New Zealand. And then New Zealand tries to send you back to Australia. It's a little bit of a mess.
Oh, no. Once you go to New Zealand, you're not going back to Australia. I think that's how that works, dude.
So, again, huge thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. If you love the show, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, join the Patreon, join the Discord, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Need to add a new horror game to your library? Silent Slayer Vault of the Vampire is a new horror game brought to you by Shell Games, the studio behind the award-winning I Expect You to Die franchise and Among Us VR. In Silent Slayer, you are a vampire slayer who has been called to destroy a clan of vampires before they wake up to grab an unstoppable power. But there's a catch. You can't wake them up. Silent Slayer requires precise, controlled movement and puzzle-solving skills in order to silently neutralize these monsters. From putting emblems together to the penultimate staking, Silent Slayer creates a tense environment for the bravest souls. Ready to slay? Silent Slayer Vault of the Vampire is now available on the MetaQuest store. If that's not for you, you can wishlist the game on Steam and join its newsletter for updates. And for listeners of the Ruff Talk VR podcast, we have an exclusive discount code for 10% off by using code RUFFSLAYER-890-4FC. That's RUFFSLAYER-890-4FC. Just visit the link in our show notes and use the code RUFFSLAYER-890-4FC for 10% off Silent Slayer Vault of the Vampire. And we are back. And we're coming back with kind of a loaded one. This is news about the Quest's next software update, Quest version 67.
Ooh, can't believe we're on 67 already.
Yeah, they really do a good job with pumping out new features, new stuff, bug fixes, and stuff like that. And some people get really excited for the software updates and stuff like that. So version 67 brings some cool stuff. For one, it allows you to freely position the 2D windows in your home environment. So, example, when you open up the menus in the browser and stuff like that, instead of it being freely locked in, you can, instead of it being permanently locked in, you can freely move it around to wherever you want. As well, it allows you to open up to 3 windows, which seems as kind of a little bit of a counter to the virtual desktop multiple monitors that they rolled out. It's cool to see that, it's starting to become native. Now, is it going to be as good as, virtual desktops? No, but it's cool that we're going to be able to open up multiple browser windows at least, browse the web, view YouTube at once, and move them around wherever you want. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly, but we're getting there. So that's the first thing. Then it also improves the Quest Pro's eye tracking, which is interesting to see the Quest Pro still get updates, which shows me that the both the Quest Pro line is not dead. Like, I think we will see a Quest Pro 2, as well as I think it has a place, because to me, the Pro headset drives innovation for the next line of the consumer headset. The Pro headset's how we got pancake lenses. You know, that supply chain and everything, that system was set up for the Quest Pro. And then once that was already set up, you know, we might not have gotten face and eye tracking like we got with the Quest Pro, but we got what really mattered, right? We got the pancake lenses. That's what I wanted, baby. I wanted those pancakes. But the eye tracking is improved, which not only to me says that the Quest Pro is not dead, but also that I have a feeling we'll see eye tracking in a consumer headset then, you know, if they're still working on it.
Wow, dude, definitely.
And
I would say maybe even their next, not the S, but the, you know.
Correct, the 4.
Yeah.
Whenever
4.
that is, in 5 years, whatever it is. Their next
Think it'll take
generation.
5 years?
I don't know. I just throwing out numbers.
I'm thinking 26.
No, it'll probably be. It seems like we roll on 3-year cycles, right? 3 to 4 year cycles.
Yeah.
So that's probably the most logical. But I mean, again, it solidifies the point of a Quest Pro as well. It allows you to tune up these features on a headset that people own, and you know, maybe there's not millions of them sold like the Quest 3 and the Quest 2, but it at least allows you to test around and get those features ready for a future, you know, consumer line headset like a Quest 4. So then besides that, it also version 67 also allows you to scan QR codes with your Quest 3, which is funny.
Taking that bad boy shopping with me.
Well, it makes sense. You know, I never thought that you could or couldn't. I never even thought about it before.
Never thought.
Right? So, I mean, I guess it's
But
cool
now
that
it's
you
cool
can.
if you're watching a showcase that does QR codes in it, whether it be
yes.
flat screen or
Now you're thinking
VR.
big brain moves right here, man.
Yeah. So now you just open up your YouTube browser in one of your 3 browsers, and then when it comes to the QR code, just badink and snatch it, right?
And then it opens it in one of the other of 3 browsers that you have. Come on.
I mean, it's kind of cool.
Big brain moves right there. I didn't think of that. That's good stuff. And then it also, swipe typing was something that was brought to the experimental settings a couple months ago. And swipe typing is moving out of experimental to just being native, you know, an option that you can turn on and off in the headset. So
Works good on cell phone. I won't lie.
some people love it. I'm always a type guy. I'm
a type
push
guy,
type.
but I can type better with swipe typing because
Everybody says it's more efficient.
100%.
You know, it's probably like
You
cursive.
fat thumb shit, and it doesn't change it instantly. But when you swipe type, it knows like you definitely didn't mean to say that.
It's like cursive, where it's like definitely more efficient and quicker, but just people don't want to really get proficient at it. You know,
Well, they don't even teach it in a lot of schools anymore.
dude. And I got the funniest educational. My year that I learned cursive in elementary school, they were like so like, if they could have beat us with paddles about it, they would have. If they legally could have, they were like, you need to learn this.
Hell yeah, you do.
Because you're going to learn it. You're going to use it for the rest of your life in school and the rest of your life after. Every grade after this, you're using cursive. And then after finishing that year, the educational system in Massachusetts dropped cursive from a requirement. So then I spent the rest of my educational years not using it and using print after hearing for the whole year so aggressively how badly we all need to learn it. It's pretty funny.
Cursive is such a better flow with writing, though.
Yeah.
On the joints.
I imagine that's how
each letter.
swipe typing is as well too. If you take the time to learn it, it's
flowing. Think of your thumbs doing
Yeah.
this shit. It's like sooner or later, nothing good's gonna come of it.
It's probably
versus
easier to
swiping.
handle for hand tracking too than the pressing.
Yeah. Dunk,
Yeah.
dunk, dunk.
So besides that, there's also a new do not disturb timer that you can turn on. So, 10 minutes of do not disturb, which
Don't
actually,
bug me for 30 minutes, huh?
hey, as somebody that records videos and content, that's actually nice. I don't want to fully turn off my notifications permanently, but just like, dude, I'm going to be recording for an hour. Let me set a timer. That actually is a great feature.
Ooh.
And then there's also going to be a horizon feed of creator content, of videos and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
And, it's select group that's partaking so far at the initial rollout, but interested creators who want to partake in the creator feed they can apply on the MetaQuest community Discord, the same spot that we're going to be hosting in Ask Me Anything on July 19th. Well, I don't know if it's fair to say we're hosting it. I think they're hosting it technically.
We're
We're
guests.
partaking though.
We're invited.
Just want to, it's just my podcasting hosting side of me that's just a control freak, right? I want to be the host, but it's actually going to be cool to be in the passenger seat and have questions thrown our way instead of.
I enjoy that.
Yeah. You don't know what to expect.
I like going in blind with these things.
We have no idea what's going to ask. We have no idea what, you all as listeners who show up might ask. So
But what makes those crazy is like people can take it any direction they want.
Yeah.
So it's not like you would think it's 100% VR related, but it's not always the case.
Yeah. So I'm excited for this one. I mean, hey, look, father-son combo. So I'm sure, there's a lot we can talk on. How we got introduced to video games together. We'll talk about some Red Alert.
Shit until
we can talk about Red Alert, baby. Red Alert. Somebody give me Civ. I saw, so I'm not going to say who, just in case.
Oh my God, Civ wrote again.
Yeah, baby. Somebody responded to me about Civ on VR saying, stay tuned. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Recent interviewee. I'm just saying. That got me a little bit excited.
I'll take Red Alert over Civ.
So that was the last piece for versions. Hey, you trying to fight? No, I'll take either. I'll be happy with either. Red Alert is amazing.
I could see someone doing Red Alert first because I think it would be easier, but well, maybe not.
Yeah. So many game ideas in my head. Dude, I was pitching a game idea to you earlier today. I think there's a lot of potential with it. It kills me inside to not be able to make this game.
Well, you could crowdsource it.
Yeah.
That's always an option. That's just scary because sometimes that shit works too good.
Yeah.
And then it turns into a...
I got a good idea. I'm pretty sure this would be a good one. But nonetheless. That's it for the version 67. So
it's a lot of good shit coming.
A whole bunch of cool stuff. And the Horizon feed creator content, that's going to be, video shown in the feed, in your headset, and in app.
Which is even cooler.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Can't wait to see some of those.
So version 67's rolling out, baby. Stay tuned.
So I've got some... I have some July releases with some dates.
That's another loaded card. We're going back to back.
This is a good one.
All right, I'll kick back. I'll make a pina colada. I'll let you steal the shit.
Hear the blender going. Yeah, put extra coconut in mine, bro. So I'll start with Infinite Inside is coming out July 12th, which is going to be interesting. I'm curious to see how it rolls out.
I got faith in it. I'm real excited for this one. It's a good freaking game.
I want them to do really well because they, again, over a year and a half ago, they were onto something really unique in my head. So I'm just hope it's perceived well and people give it a shot. Exposure might be my only concern with them. I do see them hitting their socials pretty good, but I want the consumer to see it from all angles and try it. Blaze and Blaze announced for July 18th. Which is not bad. Now here's where it gets hokey because on the same day, Yeeps Hide and Seek will be coming out. And that's an App Lab graduate as well. I think everyone's an App Lab graduate now, right?
After on August 5th, we're gonna get a couple thousand.
I'm gonna be sad.
Dude,
can't say that
is
anymore.
It too
but
late?
Anyways, no,
is it too late?
I don't want to beat a dead horse.
Is it too late?
And then July 23rd, early access. We talked about it. $4.99. Attack of the Titan. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, we did.
We did talk about it already.
I had another one coming in my head, and I thought it was different.
There was something I almost brought up earlier. I was like, shit, we didn't talk about it. Yeah, so I can't. I get it. You balance a lot when you got the whole.
Yeah. So that's coming July 23rd, which has no immediate competition. Thrasher coming July 25th. I like the spacing of
from
these
Creature.
releases.
That's under the Creature. Well, it's not made by Creature, but it's under the Creature label with Doug.
So that's going to be good. And then Walkabout Mini Golf, Wallace and Gromit, which people are mega excited for. That DLC is coming out July 25th. But I don't think it'll put too much of a hurt on Thrasher, even though they're coming out the same day.
Two totally different games.
Yeah, but my only concern would be Walkabout has such a hardcore font. What's happening in our Discord on
people are going to play Walkabout
100%.
Here's the thing, though. I think people will buy Walkabout on July 25th, no matter what, and maybe not everybody will play it July 25th.
Exactly.
It's a must-buy, though.
So this one, I just love the name of the title more than anything else. Unfortunately, the release time is sometime in July. Could be tomorrow. Could be the end of the month. Stabby. Come on, man. That's a name made for VR. Like when you go stabby, stabby, poke, poke.
And this one looks really good. It's like a hide-and-seek stab game.
So, yeah.
Come on.
I think it'll be good.
Don't you love when a game's name or marketing or like thumbnail or something just gets you freaking going?
They had me at Stabby.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. But that's an unknown current release date. Maybe that changes in the next 24 hours. With my luck, yes, it will.
That probably just means they're passing meta QA. You know, like they're just getting the final bugs and everything checked off, waiting for the official approval. I'm just speculating. And
then Zero Caliber 2, anxiously awaiting this drop, is sometime in July. That is... I think people are really, 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 really going to enjoy that.
Yeah, we were playing it actually with Nick Sutrich from Guanatu from Android Central.
Yeah.
And we've done it twice now with him. And it's such a fun freaking time. With 3 people, come on. It's such a cinematic single player, best played co-op.
They got so much shit going on in that game, it's not even funny.
Dude, when we were playing with him the other day, when we were like riding in the car, and like the car's bouncing, there's missiles exploding.
Sir.
Sorry,
we're in the Humvee, sir.
There's explosions in the air, on the ground, people shooting, go, go. There's just yelling, there's gunfire, dude, it was a lot. It was good.
It's an arcade shooter, so if you want to compare it to something, I guess I'd be cautious of what we compare it to, but it's definitely not.
You don't have like the most realistic reloading mechanics. Like there's basic reloading.
And for good reason, because you'll get freaking murked.
It's not like guns have a lot of weight in them.
One of the best revive systems I've ever seen in a game, though.
I love it.
Even better than Pop 1.
The person gets knocked down. They can either spawn back after 10 seconds, or even better, they extend their arm out, and then the person that's up runs over, grabs the hand, and pulls them up. That's so great for VR.
So that is allegedly coming sometime in July.
Let's see.
And I would jump all over that.
Especially if you love co-op gaming.
Yeah, dude. And good graphics and fun gameplay. Yeah, no brainer. I would encourage everyone, if you like shooters, holy crap. If you like arcade shooters, even better. But the graphics are pretty damn tight.
Mm-hmm. The whole the sound score, the explosions, the guns, the voice acting, it's I hate to say it. The story, it's not a bad story at all, but like, yeah, this guy's the bad guy, Zed's the good guy, he's freaking out a bit. There's some water shit. I'm here to kill people and kick ass and get through the level. The story is good, but it's so secondary to me of how badass the gameplay is, and that's one of the few times I'm like that.
Yeah, didn't even really know there was a story.
Right?
Yeah. And
it's nothing negative to it.
No, it's like I'm going in for the co-op fun.
I'm going in there to kick ass is what I'm doing.
100%. But I kind of feel bad that we're not appreciating the story as much as we should.
I was thinking about it last night, like, yeah, this guy's the bad guy. Zed's freaking the fuck out. He's the good guy. We're fixing the water shit.
Now let's go kill. All right. And on the last one would be a bonus shout out to Wanderer.
I squeezed this one in. I can't lie.
Yeah, I know shit. Literally.
It's not even in July.
No, it's in September. It's coming out September 12th. Will be
You let me write the flashcards,
Oh man, I can't even read it. That's how small it is.
Oh, September 12th.
September 12th.
Yeah, September 12th. It was supposed to already be out or coming out soon, but it got delayed. But I'd rather see that. Let it cook in the oven. Let's get it good.
Dude, anytime there's a delay, I'm not one to get upset.
And now they got to avoid the influx of App Lab apps coming in. By September 12th, the dust should be a bit settled. The effects won't be done yet.
Or it's just starting.
Yeah. The effects, it'll be like a 6 month to 1 year adjustment phase, I think. But interesting.
It'll never be the same. God damn it.
The glory days. You guys don't know how good you had it till it's gone. I think in like 10 years, people will be, I think Apple will be a little bit ahead of its time. But nonetheless,
we won't be our
like old men
like it is today, right?
So this is interesting to see if they won't do it themselves, somebody will. Apple Vision Pro has no controllers. They don't even sell controllers for it. So a third-party company called Surreal Interactive is selling VR controllers capable or compatible with the Apple Vision Pro. They're going to call it Surreal Touch. I couldn't find any release date yet or any price, but it's going to work standalone with the Apple Vision Pro. And then also there's software you can use to connect the Apple Vision Pro to Steam VR. So the controllers are going to be able to connect to the computer and work with the headset through that as well.
Well, you need controllers to play games.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I mean. If you don't
Cut
do
the
it,
chase here.
somebody's going to do it. If you don't do it, somebody will. Which is kind of a shame that for $3,500 freaking dollars, you then got to go. I mean, we don't know how much these controllers are going to spend yet. Or, I mean, cost yet.
$500.
Right?
I mean,
1,000.
to scale.
Let's see.
Yeesh.
But Surreal Touch is the name if I didn't say it yet. So, let's see.
That's good news for the...
Yeah, the market speaks, right? If you don't do it, somebody will.
Well, yeah, and not for nothing. There's money to be made everywhere. Just if you can find your
niche of it.
Yep. So not really news, but worth mentioning. I got to chill out and Resonite the other day.
Ooh, you were so excited for this. I'm almost. If you had opened up the show with the news, you probably would have opened up with this.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, 1,000,000%. And I will say it totally exceeded my expectations of what I thought it was to what it is.
You finished playing it and instantly messaged me and was like, that was one of the coolest things I've done in VR.
Dude, it's like these worlds are limitless to what you can do in them. And I can only say, like, the only way to really understand it is to go in there. Having a tour guide helped. Amelia was the...
Well, I think you went in with a good group, too.
Oh, amazing group.
How many people was it? It was a decent group,
I think
right?
5 or 6.
That's a good group right there.
I'd be lying if I could name everyone that popped in. I think there was a couple of people that popped in and popped out. But, dude, there's... And I only saw, like, what, 3-4 worlds, maybe? Not spending, like, a whole bunch of time in each one, just kind of getting a rundown of how things work. And you can use your Ready Player Me avatar on it. They've got avatar worlds you can go to and be like, I just want to be this avatar. So much to learn. But visually... Yeah, dude, I can't say enough nice things about it. It's an incredible platform.
Yeah, you're pounding to get me an ASAP.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I told Amelia, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely going back in there, but I want to see some more cool shit. So, yeah, that was huge.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be that good. I went in there knowing, well, it's got to be good because I look at the people who actually like it.
You're just a little, we both have a little bias against social apps, I'll say. I mean, I think that's fair to say. It's unfair that we have that bias, but it's fair to say that we do.
Yeah, this one's cool though. There's so many features, dude. It's really not even funny. And a couple of the worlds we saw, like visually, you know, those graphics are you could argue some of the best you might see. And I don't even know these people who make them. People making these worlds
And these games in there.
Oh, dude, yeah. There was an arcade we went to, and it was a bunch of different. There was definitely some cool shit in that arcade. And it's funny because when I walked into the arcade, I'm thinking like, where's the weed dealer? You know, I'm not saying there is or isn't, but there might be some stuff in there you can play with.
Did you instantly find it?
I don't know how, because there's literally
years
a
of
top
life
floor
experience
and bottom floor, and I walked in the door of the arcade, boom, went right to that room, and there's no way to know it would be there.
Were they laughing when you did?
I didn't really know what it was at first. And then I saw like certain devices laying around and I'm like, oh, I'm going in that tent. And there were like 3 different colored things. I'm trying to be good with the words so I don't get us taken off of YouTube or whatever.
Remember when we said COVID in an episode and Spotify had that flag? Something like COVID-19 misinformation may take place or something like that. There's like COVID-19 talk.
And then we weren't even talking like that.
No, it was just we talked about that it was the VR chat documentary because it took place over the pandemic. So we mentioned that aspect that it was a documentary over the pandemic.
Oh man,
you had a freaking flag on Spotify.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to be cautious with but the amount of like fun shit to do in the arcade was pretty unreal. And then I was Neo from the Matrix. Like spot on image of full body, had the coat on and everything. Somebody else was Iron Man.
I think you used your Ready Player Me avatar, right? You went and made one?
I made one, but I saved it to my desktop and I really need to put it in like a program file folder so that when you're in the program, you can then upload it.
So you just used one of their default ones?
No, Amelia gave it to me.
Okay.
I went in with the default one, but it's like this just robot head with no body or anything. So I had choices to either we went to an avatar world where it's like avatars on pedestals, and
because anything you touch, you can have, right?
You can keep, you can save it to your
folder,
which is just there's so much I got to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can make your worlds if you're creative and want to learn to do that. You can do it. It's just so, I guess, overwhelming going in there like for the first time ever. But once I'm comfortable in it, yeah, I can't wait to. We went to the car racing one. It was freaking good. Like everything worked good. So,
no, I'm excited to check it out. You speak very highly of it.
We got to get you in the Resonite. Now I sound like Amelia.
Mm-hmm. So this is a quick one, but a cool one. Previously, it was exclusive to some mixed reality apps, but now any mixed reality app on the Quest headset can disable the boundary while playing it.
That's actually good news.
Yeah.
I just draw my boundary bigger than my friggin' house.
Well, it's one of those things. I feel like when mixed reality launched color pass-through on the Quest 3, it was like one of those things where they went, oh, yeah, we didn't think about that. Like the boundary still exists? Oh, shit, yeah, I guess that's not really necessary.
Probably doesn't for the developer, so why would they even think of it?
It makes sense in VR. The boundary I understand for virtual reality, but in mixed reality, I can see my environment. I mean, like, I don't need a boundary to cut me off and tell me where my wall is when my wall is visibly right there, you know? So that makes sense. Really, really quick piece of news, but I would say actually
that's a good one.
A big quality of life improvement for being a quick one. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, this is a cool one. Racket Club is having a body movement update.
Speaking of mixed reality.
Right? Only way to play it.
Which isn't true. That's just what you mean. That's the best way in our opinion.
The way I like to play.
Correct.
I don't care how anybody else likes. You play it however you want. But the body movement upgrade for avatars, live integration, increased resolution for the Quest 3s, which I'm very excited about. It already looks great. And then some various underlining bug issues that we're not privy to, but they are fixing them. But always a great, since release, it's just been fun. So I'm happy they're making changes. I'm excited to see what the visual changes will be. And I'm not noticing like top ahead, like didn't even notice the avatars didn't move. I thought
I'm curious. Now I want to go in and play with them when
before and after. Yeah, just to make sure. So that I'm happy they're still making moves on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then not to jump right out of that, we're pickling up. We've passed our pickle up time, but Racket Club is such a good game. In my opinion, one of the best sport games in VR. So I'm excited to see it still get that kind of love. And then this is a cool one. The MetaQuest Plus games for July, which besides the 2 games that they rotate every month, don't forget they now have that back library as well of all of these different titles that you get to select when you join the MetaQuest Plus subscription, which is $8 a month or $60 a year. But the 2 games for July is Creed Rise to Glory, which ironically, we played that like last week, multiplayer. That was funny. We boxed up. And then also one of the best games of the year when it came out, The Last Clockwinder.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah, I wonder what that studio's up to because that was such a good freaking game.
Well, if they drop anything similar, I can see why it would take years in between because there was a lot of mechanics in it.
Dude, and it functioned good.
I'd like to go back into that one to be honest with you.
Maybe try to get better at all the puzzles. Not better, but like get higher score at each one. Dude, that if anybody hasn't checked out The Last Clockwinder, one of the best single player.
Dude, it still holds up.
For single player experiences in VR, one of the best. Both Last Clockwinder and then there's kind of like the combat alternative one, VR1. Last Clockwinder touched the feels a little bit more with the story. Had a really good story with it. But VR1 is a great one as well, too. A little bit more shooty.
Like the Mother Nature. Mother Nature voice was amazing.
For VR1?
Yep.
Yeah. And then The Last Clockwinder, just the whole vibe of it, of caretaking and just the overlying story and just the way it was all done. Phenomenal game. Yeah, highly recommend it.
A great balance of gameplay with, the 15% story, but you wanted to finish the story, which means doing all the different. So yeah, no, they crushed it.
And you can bare minimum it, or you can try to really max out.
Go for the stars, baby.
And so, I mean, hey, if you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend it. But if you're a MetaQuest Plus subscriber and you haven't played it yet, well, grab it. Grab it as part of the July games.
All right, we got coming in the fall, which is cool that we're already seeing these games being like, nope, coming out in September, coming out in October, could be November. This will have 60 levels, 3 different challenges. It'll be single player, it'll be co-op, it'll be multiplayer. It is known as Does It Stack from Cybernetic Walrus.
Cybernetic Walrus.
Cybernetic Walrus.
What a great studio name.
I have to know what the hell that name came from.
What a great name.
Walrus. Dude, walruses are the best. But
Yeah.
Does it stack? So I'm excited because it's got 2 things that I love, a lot of levels, and co-op.
Single player, co-op, and multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds like
It's
competitive
got all the
multiplayer.
bases covered.
I think
probably have more questions than answers right now, but
Well, I think the name alone describes the gameplay a lot, right?
does it stack?
Like it's like that mini game in Loco Dojo just made into a whole game.
That's what I was
Visualizing.
The one with the
That was one of my
arms.
favorite mini games in Loco Dojo as well, too.
I can't have a favorite.
Oh, what a great freaking game.
I love
Loco Dojo?
I love the crab hand ones catching shit. And
Yeah, if you have people to play like multiplayer game nights with, I think Loco Dojo is a must own. That's why I'm going to be grabbing Leeroy. But to stick it with
I wish we were talking off air. It's like I wish Loco Dojo.
wish you could buy. You say like buy the IP of
Here's
Loco
my
Dojo.
IPs. Yeah, I want Loco Dojo. I want Quintar because as far as I'm concerned, I don't know what's going on with Quintar.
Well, you say that because we went into it to play it, and there was like no
couldn't
server.
even play with bots, dude.
Yeah, it was
I'm
weird.
like, something's not right, and I don't see a lot of activity. It's like, so I would scoop that one,
Because that's a great freaking game.
and then I would top it off with Mother Gunship Forge because I don't think there's much more happening with it. Still playable, still functions.
One of the best crafting systems I've ever experienced.
I play Mother Gunship a couple of times minimally a week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't advertise it, but I do, and that's how I know.
We got to stream it sometime. Just one round. We got to do a Dungeons of Eternity round and a Mother Gunship round. That would be a great stream night.
If we did endless mode,
Well, the problem with endless mode is how long are we going to play for, dog? We're going to go. We ain't losing.
It depends, because the reality is by level 50, 60.
Shit gets intense.
Well, no, you stop losing the ability to get extenders and
Guns.
weapons.
Yeah.
So whatever you got by then, and what I do is I'll play till then, and I'll look at my setup and go, do I have any chance of getting 400 rounds? Nope. Restart. That's my go-to. So right now I have 2 different saves going.
Because you have 2 headsets.
Yeah, I gamed their system without knowing it could even be done.
But
It
that
doesn't recognize each headset as, even though it's me. So I got one endless mode on one, saved and working, one endless mode on the other. I just never have had it where there's no endless mode on either. So I'm always keeping endless modes going. But yeah, I'm definitely up for streaming that. But those are the 3 IPs I would snatch tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree. Those are good ones.
And then I'd be like looking for fixers to be working on them.
Was that all of your news?
That was
too?
it, man.
That was it for me,
That was
too.
it, yeah.
We're done. Whoa!
Wasn't the heaviest news week, but coming off of a
Whoa.
showcase, I get that.
Hey, we went pretty long. I would say that we probably could have even gone a bit longer, but we're trying to do a YouTube live hangout. So
Jumping right from here to YouTube.
yeah, take a little
Crazy.
little water break. I'm telling you, man, it's electrolytes day. It's stay hydrated, folks. If you're dealing with a heat wave, stay
I caught a little
hydrated.
cold last week.
Mhm.
Don't know how. I
How you,
think,
how you so cold if it's so hot?
right?
Sorry.
How weird.
All right. All right.
How weird.
Thank you all for tuning in today. Go check out Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire, sponsoring this month of the Ruff Talk VR podcast.
Kill you some vampires.
Got an exclusive discount code for you in our episode notes. So go visit the link there. Use that code. Also, go check out the Ruff Talk VR Discord, the Patreon, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. You know, subscribe wherever you listen, that is, you know, podcast platforms, YouTube. If you're on YouTube, like, share, comment, smash that like button, all that stuff. And, well, we'll check you out Wednesday with a great interview with a solo developer.
Wicked cool, dude.
Yeah,
Man.
it was a fun one.
Wicked cool.
It was a fun one. So we'll check you out soon.
Selling cars.
Is that what they do for cars? Hey, buddy.
Stop down to Leroy's Cadillac joint.
Hey, you know what's funny? Leeroy is one of the games on the list. All right, we're good. We'll check you out next week, or actually on Wednesday. Ciao, ciao.